Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video, we are going to learn about the transistors, how they are formed and how they are constructed, different types of transistors and why we use them in the electronics. So without any delay, let's start the video. Okay, let's start with the induction to the transistor. First and most important thing, how the transistor is formed. See, the transistor is formed by connecting the two p-n junction diodes. So I think all of you know about the p-n junction diodes. So when you connect two p-n junctions back to back, so the new semiconductor device will be formed. That new semiconductor device is called transistor. So how the transistor is formed? By connecting the two diodes back to back, the transistor will be formed. And these transistor having the three terminals, the name of the terminals are emitter, base and collector. Now we will see the main function of the each terminal individually. First terminal is emitter. The main function of the emitter is which will emit the majority charge carriers. That majority charge carriers may be either the electrons or holes. It will depending upon the type of transistor we are going to use. Example, if we use the PNP transistor, in PNP transistor, the majority charge carriers are holes. So the emitter will supply the majority charge carriers holes. For example, in case if we are using the NPN transistor, so in NPN transistor, we know the majority charge carriers are electrons, right? So it will emit means it will supply the majority charge carriers electrons. So it will depending upon the type of the transistors. And the size of the emitter is moderate. Means size of the emitter is less compared to the collector. And size of the emitter is more when compared to the base. So this is about the emitter. And now coming to the base, this base is the middle part of the transistor. And this base is thin and very lightly doped. Means the doping level of the base is very less. And the main function of the base is it will supply the majority charge carriers from the emitter to collector. It will pass the majority charge carriers from the emitter to collector. So this is the main function of the base. And now we'll see the function of the collector. So the size of the collector is large when compared to the both base and the emitter. And coming to the doping level of the collector, so the doping level of the collector is less when compared to the emitter and more when compared to the base. So it is moderately doped, and the main function of the collector is it will collect the majority charge carriers. Means from the emitter it will emit the majority charge carriers, and this collector which collects the majority charge carriers. So that is the main function of the collector. And here you can see the real image of the collector, sorry, in the of the transistor. See, the middle terminal of the transistor is called base, and the terminal which having the knob, that is called emitter, and the right side of the base is called the collector. These are the terminals of the transistor. And coming to see the symbols of the transistor for both NPN and PNP transistor, here the arrow mark indicates the emitter and the direction of the arrow mark which indicates the direction of the flow of current. So this is the terminals and the symbols of the transistor. Now we will see the different types of transistors, classifications of the transistors. So this is the classification of the transistor. So mainly the transistors are classified into two types. That is bipolar junction transistor BJT and field effect transistor FET. Again, the bipolar junction transistor means BJT is further classified into two types, that is NPN transistor and PNP transistor. So the major difference between the bipolar junction transistor and the field effect transistor is, so the bipolar junction transistor which uses the both majority charge carriers, means it will uses the both electrons and holes. Coming to FET, field effect transistor is a unipolar junction transistor, means it uses only either the holes or electrons. So again the next difference between the FET and the BJT is, so the BJT is a current control device, and coming to FET, FET is a voltage control device. So again I will discuss about these two, why it is called current control device and the voltage control device. See, the FETs are again classified into two types. That is junction field effect transistor JFET and metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor. It is called MOSFET. And these JFET further classified into two types. That is N channel JFET and the P channel JFET. Coming to MOSFET, so this MOSFET is further classified into two types. That is enhancement type MOSFET and the depletion MOSFET. And the enhancement types is two types, that is N channel enhancement, P channel enhancement. Coming to depletion, same. So that is P channel depletion MOSFET and the N channel depletion MOSFET. So this is the major classifications of the transistor. So in coming videos, I will explain each and every type of transistor in detail, and I will definitely try to do simulation on this experiment. Transistor. Now we will see the major uses of the transistor. Now we will see how the amplifiers are used and where we use these amplifiers. What is the use of the amplifiers? See, first thing, the transistors are used as an amplifier. Means, as you know, amplifiers means which will improve the strength of the signal. Means it will convert the weak signal into the strong signals. So the common example is microphone. See, when you speak out by using the microphone, so obviously your sound would be very loud. So what is the reason behind that? Means, so when you speak by using the mic, the signals are entered into the microphone circuit. So inside the microphone circuit means inside the mic, the transistors which increase the strength of the signal. That's why the output will means the signal is very strength. So that is the main reason of, and these are the some real life examples like where we use transistors. So first thing, as you know, the transistor is used as the amplifier and this transistor are used as the switching devices. And some real life examples to understand the what is the use of the purpose of transistor is. So these transistors are mainly used in the computers and the laptops, mobile phones, LED displays, automotive electronics and the medical devices. Here I will explain one real-time example to understand how the transistors are mainly used in the computers and the laptops. So transistors are the heart of the every computer and the laptop. So these transistors will act as the switches for the fast turning and the fast turn off. So in computer, these transistors are mainly used inside the CPU. Means transistors are mainly used in the CPU, Central Processing Unit. So this CPU which contains the billions of transistors to perform the several tasks. So the different types of arithmetic operations, logical operations, decision making, data processing, these all operations can be performed by the CPU which having the billions of transistors. So what will happen if the transistors are not used in the computers or laptops? Means firstly, before transistors they are using the vacuum tubes which is very large in size. So the size of the computers will be very wide, means very large. And now second point is, without transistors it will consume the too much amount of power and the work is extremely slow and it can't possible to work with the smartphones or the internet or the AI. So these are the main uses of the transistors in the computers and the laptops. So I hope you like the video. So if you enjoy this content, please subscribe to my YouTube channel for more updates. In next video, I will explain the construction and operation of the bipolar junction transistor in detail. So thank you for watching and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. See you in the next video. Thank you.